Greetings, fellow trendsetters. And you know what? I'll tell you something. I'll tell you something. Comic book anthologies in this country just seem to come and go, more often than usual. Why? Well, I can't really answer that, but I'll hazard a guess. Organising and making an anthology series is harder than it looks. During my time in this scene, I've seen a heap of anthology series just seem to come and go. Very few get past like 5 issues. So in this week's episode, I'm going to focus on one recent anthology that came, then stopped, then just disappeared. And since it's Halloween season, I thought it'd be best to shine a light on this and give you my worthless opinion. Cue music. Stop. So, Paulo, a dude responsible for making Machine, decided to reinvent himself and go for the death, dark, spooky theme and put out his new project, Death Candy. And I'll actually throw in this piece of useless info here. Paulo actually did get in trouble with a porn star over the name Death Candy. She actually had the same name. So, Dark Candy is a horror anthology who brings in creators such as Tim Burton, Damien Connolly, Craig Byrne, Travis Williamson, Chopsy, the team up of Edward Bentley and Daniel Early, Ismail Hador, Camille Dominic Vu. You get the point. There's quite a roster. Plus Paulo himself, who goes under the pen name Spooky Doom in this, actually throws in his contribution to this. So, the artwork, well, artwork is kind of varied here. It stays true to the book's creepy gothic themes. Like, you get a good old chunk of it actually leans into the toony style that you probably expect from comics that slave labor graphics released back in its time. You get some experimental mixed media material which gives chills to some people out there, but then you get some artwork that just doesn't suit, and another portion where it's just too cartoony, where despite how it gives the dark and gory treatment, it just comes off as try-hard to me. It just doesn't sit well with this book. So, the stories to the whole thing, gothic horror, bleak humour, and dark depression actually just runs through this anthology. And again, the results are mixed. You get your standard horror, some executed adequately, some not. You get your Tim Burton inspired cartoonish stories, which some do hit, but some just come across as try-hard. You even get your gothic, arty, wanky material, which just makes little sense. Now, I'll actually go to Craig's contribution here. Now, like, Craig Byrne's contribution, which I'm showing here, actually stands out, but probably for the wrong reason. Now, don't get me wrong, Craig is actually a respectable creator, and this story is actually pretty good. But I just feel like this just doesn't fit in this at all. Like, shouldn't this be in a comedy book instead? Okay, so the execution for this whole thing. So each issue is actually like 88 pages long. So you get quite a fair amount of material. The book is actually printed on newspaper, which gives the book a more gritty feel. And do be careful because as the ink can actually rub off onto your fingers. There's actually a small section of written material which highlights certain like other indie dark projects like self-made animation, and then there's certain true story just like weird creepy material. So it's there if you want to read it. It's all wrapped up for a measly like 10 Australian dollars. So is it worth it? It depends on what culture you belong to. Frankly, I divide this anthology into like 3 sections. A third of it is good, the other third is absolute crap, and the rest actually just sits in the average section. So the verdict for the whole thing, I would actually just give this a 2.5 out of 5. Like, Death Candy is a book whose target audience is goths. So if you're willing to forgive some contributions, which personally I just wouldn't print if I was editor of this, it would sit well with your Emily the Strange and Johnny the Homicidal Maniac collection. And yeah, I will actually point out, I don't expect a third issue coming out in the future. Just because, like, the last time I saw Paulo, he was not happy, like, doing comics at all. Not anymore. And just sounded like he was just ready to throw in the towel. And that was probably like 3 years ago, or 2 years ago, not too sure, but I haven't seen or heard from him ever since. After all, the great Jack Kirby did quote, "Comics can break your heart." And yeah, that unfortunately is true. So, you can take my word for it, or tell me to go to hell. After all, it's nothing more than my worthless opinion. Please like and subscribe and all that junk. And